Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. We got another knife restoration video. This is going to be on this Soligen made knife. I'll go more into the details on this knife, but right up front, when I first showed this on my 2 for Tuesday video, I had a lot of viewers give me some great information about this knife that I didn't know about. It has some really neat features, and we'll be discussing that later. But just to get started, since I have to film these in several sessions, I just wanted to get started by showing that it's got quite a bit of rust down in there, and there's rust on the blade. Let me get my little flashlight. Let's prepared once again. I've tried to clean off my workbench and get organized, but the more organized I get, the more disorganized I am, I think. But anyway, we got some rust down in there. It's not horrible, but it's gonna, need some cleaning. Again, rust on that blade. So it doesn't look like any pitting has occurred, which is a good thing. So let's get started by just throwing this into some Evapo-Rust and let it soak for a couple hours. Hello everyone, Tom from Knife Delights here. Just wanted to break in for just a moment. I want to highlight a special fundraiser that's going on. Our good friend Matt from across the pond, he's got a fundraiser going on for CALM, which is Campaign Against Living Miserably. And this campaign, I believe, goes on until June 30th. So there's still time if you'd like to donate. This campaign is to, help in suicide prevention and things like that. Most of us all have good days, but sometimes there's days we get to feeling down, get to feeling depressed, and those suicidal thoughts can come in, and sometimes they grab someone, and for whatever reason they can't seem to fight it. So let's help get ahead of the game. Let's help those that are struggling with suicidal ideations. If you feel so compelled, why please contribute here to Matt's fundraiser. I will leave a link down in the description box. Thank you very much. Well, I let the knife soak for a couple hours in Evapo-Rust. I rinsed it off with some water, set it aside to dry, and I left it for a few days. So you can definitely see the rust there, can't you? This is a very interesting knife, folks. See, it won't even open now. There it went. It's a switchblade knife, automatic knife, and it's made by Hubertus. And it's called the Hubertus Shell Puller. And as you can see here, when you're in the closed position with the blade, I'll lock it back down. This was made for back before, like a single gauge shotgun had a self-ejector to get the shell out. You can see there, this is marked C16 or G16. Not quite sure what that is, but that's for a 16 gauge. Barely see the 1/6 there. And over here for the 12 gauge. So your shell would be coming out the barrel there, and you'd reach down and you could grab it and pull your shell out. I think this is one of the original models because it has Springer down here. And looking online at the modern versions, and even from the current Hubertus catalog, I don't see any of them stamped Springer down there. I believe, looking over different examples, I believe this cover material is not Alpine Stag. I'll have to look that up. It's some sort of a horn or a stag. I'll put that in a comment up here. I can't remember offhand. But this is wow, this is a wonderful knife. It's an old knife. I think this is one of their earlier models of this. So again, pull down on here. The blade should go all the way out. We'll see if we can't get that to happen. And the tip is broke off there just slightly. Looking in their current catalog, it looks like these came in either a drop point blade, which this one would have been, or it comes in a clip point blade. And the knives are currently being made by Messer, I believe. But let's get to cleaning on this, and let's learn a little bit more about this knife. We'll see what happens. See if we can't get it cleaned up and get it so it works like the automatic, like it should be. Oh, we'll just start on the blade here with a little bit of rubbing compound. This is my go-to rubbing compound. It's done me well over the years. And let's just see what happens. Now I wanted to go careful on the face side of this blade, because on the modern ones and the ones that go back a few years, there was some blade etching on it. I don't see any evidence of any blade etching on this one. It could have worn off, but that just kind of, to me, gives another indication that this is one of their older versions. Oh boy, that's really up high, isn't it? I'm gonna change the wood here. Let's see the condition of the blade. Let's get this baby cleaned up. Taking the old, used and abused, rusty, and turning them into shiny blades. Oh, look at that already. This is going to come out looking very nice. This is going to clean up well. I know it. I just happened to think of one other thing. You can see here the liners are steel, and it looks like in the newer ones they're brass. One more indication that this might be one of their older original versions. Okay, I'll just give you a look-see here at what this metal looks like as I continue to clean on it. And I'll just do this one bottom bolster here so you can see a difference. Then I'll work on it for a while off camera. So you can see here in just a quick couple minutes how much nicer this is looking. Went from that to that real quick. Okay, let me work on it off camera for a while. I just wanted to give you a quick update here. This is where we stand, kind of a quick pass over everything on the knife. This is going to be quite challenging because there's all kinds of little nooks and crannies to get into. So some of the cleaning I might have to do by hand, but you can see she's really starting to shine up here. I notice here we got some blade wobble, so we're going to have to try to tighten these pins right here, that pin right there. Well, look at that thick blade stock. So let's do this. Let's clean the back of the spine of the blade off here real quick. Just use some sandpaper here. This is a little heavier grade than what I normally use, but this is a thick stock here. It'll scratch it just a little bit, but nothing terrible. Always take those scratches back out. But there's going to be a lot of little hand detail work to this one. You see the blade wobble there. Maybe that's one reason why it's not deploying so well either. And then down in here, of course, we've got some rust down in here. See that down in there? So again, we're going to use some sandpaper. I'm going to clean that off right there. Again, this is just an initial cleaning. So let's work on that. Get as much of that rust out of there as we can. I think I'm going to end up doing a double soaking in mineral oil on this one. I'll tell you why. Normally I've been throwing it in the ultrasonic cleaner and bubbling everything out that I can, but I think there's a lot of rust down in here, so I want this thing to soak really good in mineral oil, and I'm going to have to stop working on this for a few hours, so it's the opportune time to give it a good soak. I think what I'll do though is get some warm water with some Dawn dishwashing liquid. See there, that's cleaning up pretty good now, isn't it? And just kind of rinse off and wash out any of the particles from the sandpaper that I've got down in there. Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get cleaned out of here. This is where you just got to be patient. Any of these steps I do, I've had a couple knives that were real stubborn, and I did each step complete like 4 times over until I got it, until it was looking the way I wanted it. See there, got rid of a lot of that rust there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rinse it off in some Dawn dishwashing liquid. Maybe soak it in there for 10 or 15 minutes, break down any grease or oils that might be down in there, and then I'm going to soak it in then rinse it out, and then put it in some mineral oil so I can get a good long soak on this. Looky what we got here. I got her out of the mineral oil and wiped off, and oh, look at how much cleaner that is. Oh yeah. And oh, and hey, check this out. Check this out. Whoa! One more time. One more time. Do it this way so you catch it there. Whoa! We got the action back to it. But it's cleaned right up. Still got some more work to do on it here. Yep. Little stuff down in, oh, there's a little bit of stuff like right there. Let's just wipe that off, and let's hit it with the wire brush here. See if we can get some of that off. Oh yeah. Well, that just cleans it right up. Oh yeah, let's get down in here. Oh, look at that, back spring's exposed. And it's big enough, I bet I can hit it with the wire brush. Oh lordy, look at that. Oh, it's cleaning up really nice. Yep. Hey, I've got some exciting news too. See this blade? A lot of times, if it's got a broken tip and it's an old historical knife, I just leave it as is and leave it as the character of the knife. But guess what? I texted a picture of this down to Jerry, good old Big J's Knives. He's agreed to take a shot at reprofiling this and getting it back into a drop point again. So we're going to do a bit of a channel collaboration. Once I get this all cleaned up, I'm sending it off to the Big J. Yes, sir. Now, you see that? See that wobble? I'm going to try to correct that, I think. But before I do that, while it's loose, I think it'd be nice. You can see it's separated there. When I put it in ultrasonic cleaner, maybe I'll get more stuff out of there before I tighten it up. But yeah, look at this. It is just coming right along. And I haven't done that much work to it. You know what that little spot is right there. But it's going to take some time, all these little itty bitty little areas to get into. I typically don't like using the wire brush on the metal, except like on the tangs, but I think it's okay to clean those little grooves out down there. So let me work on it some more, doing some more polishing, and I'll give you an update. Starting to shine right up, isn't she? Well, I think I've done just about as much as I can with the cleaning compound. The metal's all nice and clean. What a difference. Just what a difference. And this is just from the cleaning compound. Can't wait until we get it really cleaned up with some case paste on here. But in the meantime, one thing I like to do is use an ultrasonic cleaner, and hopefully it'll bubble out anything like that caught down in there underneath the spring and in these other little spaces here, maybe even between the the covers here, the inlays, bubble out any dirt and dirty oil that might still be down in there. But, you know, overall, just a world of difference. So, hang on, let me readjust. I got this wonderful ultrasonic cleaner, courtesy of W. Thanks again, W. We'll put that down in there. Normally I like to have the blades open, but this is too big of a knife. It won't fit in there with the blades open. And we're going to put a little Dawn dishwashing liquid in there. Don't take a lot. And we're going to let it do its thing for about 5 minutes. Well, let's just take a look and see what we got. Oh, look at how dirty that water is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We sure got a lot of stuff out of there, didn't we? That ought to make this knife just clean up really nice. See how it's bubbled out a bunch of that stuff? Alright. I'm going to wipe this off, get as much water off as I can. And since we put it in water again, I got to put it back in the mineral oil to displace any moisture that we might have left. But boy, did that ever work. Wow, that is dirty. Well, she's come out of the mineral oil one more time, getting it all dried off. She looks fantastic. I have not used any case paste on it. But just look at the difference in this knife, how clean it is. And this is fantastic. Look at this. Oh yeah. Nice old switchblade here. Still got some dirty oil coming out here and there, but that'll clean up. Now, like I said, I'm sending this knife off to Big J. He's going to try to, well, I've got all the confidence in the world that he can do it, but he's going to reprofile that to get it back into a spear point. And you might wonder, how did I talk Jerry into doing that? Well, this is how, folks. It's his favorite hard candy. So if you want something from old Big J, send him some of these, you know, root beers, hard candies. Works every time. Thanks a lot, Jerry, in advance. I'm not going to finish polishing until I get it back. We also have to discuss this blade wobble. I got just a little bit of it out, but not enough. And here's our problem, is the pins are inset down underneath this. So you can't just take a hammer to it and whack directly onto the pin. I tried, you know, putting like this in the vise and holding this here, and then with another punch, you know, hitting down on it, trying to tighten that pin. It just wouldn't quite work. I think when I get it back from Jerry, what I'm going to do is find a hydraulic press and get a couple pins to put in there, and then maybe using the hydraulic press I can get those pins tightened up. You can tell they're loose. And it also the bolster here is loose on it, or sprang just a little bit. So I'll finish trying to do the repair work when I get it back. But until then, I want everyone to go out and have a very delightful day.